Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So Manchester United and Liverpool go head to head in the race to sign Dayot Upamecano. He says Manchester United could gazump Liverpool by signing Upamecano this month. And Solskjaer has urged us to beat Liverpool to the signing of the player. I think we are preparing to put a bid in of around £55 million. Now, Sky Sports recently said that Bayern Munich were in advanced talks for Dayot Upamecano, because it recently mentioned that Bayern Munich were the favourites. Bayern Munich's CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge confirmed their interest. Dayot Upamecano is available for around £38 million at the end of this season, because that's when his release clause does become active. Last year he signed a new contract with RB Leipzig until 2023. He's been there now quite a few years. RB Leipzig paid around €10 million for him from Red Bull Salzburg. RB Leipzig CEO came out earlier on this season and said we will sell our top performers again if that makes financial sense. But RB Leipzig know from their perspective that if they sell him in this January window, obviously they're going to get more money than they are at the end of the season. But yeah, the player himself confirmed, that it's likely he will be leaving. But I think he'd go very, very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. They'd make a very, very good centre-back partnership. The main explanation why Liverpool want him is because obviously they've got injuries to their centre-halves. Obviously Virgil van Dijk's out for the season and Joe Gomez is out for the season. And reportedly Chelsea have been interested in him. So that's the breaking news on him. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer admits that Donny van de Beek is unhappy at Manchester United because of his lack of playing time. He is going to be involved in the game today against Liverpool, which is good. Wait there a second. Donny van de Beek, most of his appearances have come from the bench. I think he's made around 21 appearances in total. He's only made 2 starts in the Premier League, and that was against West Ham and Southampton. So he seldom starts in the Premier League. Now, we got Donny van de Beek last summer in a deal worth £40 million. We paid £35 million up front and there was £5 million in add-ons. He signed a 5-year contract with Man United, so he's under contract with the club until 2025. Now, Solskjaer was talking about Donny van de Beek earlier on this season, saying that he insists that he has a bright future at Man United and he tips him to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. Now, we recently rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek. We won't let him leave in this January transfer window. Ronald de Boer urged Donny van de Beek to leave the club to boost his chances for the Euros. Edwin van der Sar, the Ajax CEO, spoke about him not so long ago. Van der Sar said he spoke to people at Manchester United about Donny van de Beek, and he said Man United remain confident that Donny van de Beek will be a success at Old Trafford, and Van der Sar said he has been showing fantastic attitude in training despite his lack of game time. Van der Beek can play in like 3 different roles. You know, he can play as a box-to-box midfielder. That was his predominant position at Ajax. You can put him as a number 10, and you can also put him out wide. Now, there were sources in Italy, I think towards the end of last year, saying that Inter Milan are willing to take him on loan. But yeah, to be honest with you, a lot of Man United fans expected Donny van de Beek to play a hell of a lot more than he has done. So that's the breaking news on him. Just want to give you some news on Ousmane Dembele. So according to Sport, Manchester United and Chelsea are monitoring Ousmane Dembele's contract situation at Barcelona. Now, Ousmane Dembele's contract talks with Barcelona have stalled. Ousmane Dembele has made 93 appearances for Barcelona in 3.5 seasons. He's got a contract with Barcelona until 2022. The element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he is injury prone. Back in 2017, Barcelona got him in a deal worth £135 million. He is still only young. Don't forget we inquired about getting him last year on loan, and Liverpool were in for him at one point. Like I said, Tino, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Don't forget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave us an update on our January transfer plans, and he did say that January signings are unlikely. Sky Sports recently said that Solskjaer says signings are long term, not a quick fix. But he admits there could be furthermore departures in this January transfer window. So we are focusing more on the outgoings and the incomings in this window. This January transfer window, Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Man United manager. But I think he said prior to the Fulham game that 1 or 2 more players could leave. Solskjaer has confirmed that Sergio Romero and Marcus Rojo are free to leave in this window, because he mentioned that their contracts won't be extended. Jesse Lingard, now I think we're going to make a decision on his future after the game today against Liverpool. Solskjaer's recently been in disagreement over Jesse Lingard's future. Don't forget he recently got removed from the squad, but he's been heavily linked to a move away from Man United. I think Ighalo will leave the football club. His loan expires at the end of this month. Don't forget there has been talks of Daniel James going out on loan because he's lost his place in the team. And Brandon Williams has been talks of him going out on loan. And will Phil Jones leave the football club in this January transfer window? More players I think will leave Man United in the summer. But Ed Woodward promised, that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Even when we had the bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward assured that his job is safe. Ed Woodward did say towards the end of last year that we will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. You already know the news on Amad Traore. I heard recently that he could be handed his debut today in the game against Liverpool. Solskjaer said not so long ago that Dayot Traore could be part of the first team squad in the next few weeks. We got him in a deal worth £37 million, with add-ons included, paid £19 million up front. Dayot Traore to Man United was official earlier on this month, but actually the deal was agreed last October, and I'm sure at some point that Facundo Palestre will get his chances in the first team. Don't forget, not so long ago he had COVID, but I do like the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has promoted the youth. When Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he said everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and obviously he's brought more young players into the club. Solskjaer's been talking a lot about Paul Pogba recently as well, like I've updated you on. He insists that he hasn't got a problem with Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's performances have been very, very good recently, since he came back from that ankle injury that he had earlier on in the season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury, and he had a minor problem not so long ago. He recently said that Paul Pogba's considering making a U-turn at the club. That means staying at Manchester United potentially past the summer. He could even sign a long-term contract at the football club. Paul Pogba's future is on hold until the end of the season, but Paul Pogba looked certain to leave Man United, but he is now inspiring our title challenge. But yeah, he has had a long-running transfer saga. He's been linked with a move to PSG. He did say not so long ago that Mino Raiola was talking with PSG, and said a few weeks ago that Pochettino identified Paul Pogba as his number one target. He's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Swap deals have been high on the agenda. Paul Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. He's also been linked with a move to Real Madrid. Said a few weeks ago we'd revealed our asking price, and it said we want around £75 million. But Paul Pogba recently contradicted Mino Raiola for the second time. Mino Raiola told 2 Sport last month that Paul Pogba's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement, because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. But earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on Pogba's contract, so he's under contract with the club until June 2022. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing, because we paid £89 million for him. Recently, we've been putting him in more of an advanced role. I think he's very, very effective there, to be honest with you. So yeah, so you know the news on that. Obviously yesterday I give you the news on Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli. Sky Sports said that he's keen on a move to Man United. I also give you the news on Leon Bailey, and I give you the news on Declan Rice. I think we are looking to make around 4 signings this year to complete our squad overhaul. You saw my video that I did yesterday. I went through with you how Manchester United can secure the Premier League title. And that's obviously good performances need to persist. Obviously we've got to keep Paul Pogba in form. Cavani's got to keep delivering the goods, because Cavani's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. You've probably got to say we've got to start beating some of the big teams, because we can't beat the big teams under Solskjaer, and that's been proven so far this season. But don't forget, we've got to go to Stamford Bridge. We've got to go to the Emirates at the end of this month. We've also got to play Liverpool at home in the league. We've got to play Leicester at Old Trafford in the league. We've got to go away to Tottenham. So hopefully we can win at least some of them games. Yeah, hopefully, we can win some of them games, yeah. And I think, Solskjaer's got to keep getting his... Wait a second, it's gone a bit dark. That's better. So yeah, I think Solskjaer's got to keep getting his selections right. And I think, we've got to make at least one more signing. More signs are needed at Man United. And I've already gone through with you the areas where we need to strengthen up. I think we need a striker, we need a world-class midfielder, and I think we need a centre-half. But yeah, Solskjaer has made progress at Man United in the last year or so. Obviously, we are top of the Premier League. No one thought we'd have been in that position now. We are unbeaten in our last 17 Premier League away games. Which is very, very good. We equalled our record from the 98-99 season. If we do beat Arsenal at the end of the month, we would have broken that record. We are unbeaten in our last 13 Premier League games. So yeah, Solskjaer does deserve credit. And I think Man United deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer, because he could have easily have been sacked as Manchester United manager. Because obviously we've endured bad periods under him. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. He was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. He was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. Like I've said to you though, it does take some time for some managers to settle in. But certainly now there's a lot of United fans that are rallying. Obviously, Solskjaer has received a lot of criticism, especially earlier on in the season, reflecting how inconsistent we was. But with how good we've been in recent months, our perceptions have started to change on Solskjaer. I think he's definitely on course to earn himself a new contract at the club, reflecting on the progress he's made. I think Solskjaer's more than halfway through now his 3-year deal. Obviously, he signed a 3-year contract at Man United when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. But it would be a remarkable achievement if we won the Premier League this season. Then I can assure Solskjaer would be the long-term manager. Solskjaer has been playing mind games in recent weeks. Don't forget he did say prior to the game against Burnley that Man United must stay humble and not think we've cracked it if we go top. And he said after our 1-0 win against Wolves, we're not in the title races yet. But he said if we are still challenging in March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. If we do win the Premier League, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. But there's quite a few teams in this race. There's 3 trophies we can pursue this season. We can win the league, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. Solskjaer knows how important it is for him to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy now for just over for years. But reflecting now on Solskjaer's been at the club, I've got to say he's gained some managerial experience. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. Obviously, before he was with us, he was at Mulder. And before Mulder, he was at Cardiff. And I think he's also learned quite a bit on the job. He's probably still got to say there's things he's got to learn on the job. Solskjaer has been Man United manager now for over 2 years. And this is his second full season at the football club. He is going to be given at least another season at the club, so obviously that will be his third full season at Man United. Obviously earlier on this season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Lost that to Manchester City 2-0. That was disappointing. Did well in his first full season last season. Got us qualification for the Champions League. Got us third and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. Despite our reluctance to back Solskjaer with transfers, I still think he's made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million. We've seen a lot of players leave since he got recommended in as well. So he does deserve credit. Solskjaer knew when he got appointed in as Man United manager that it was going to be a massive job for him, despite him knowing the culture of the club and that. Obviously, he was a great player. Obviously, he knew when he came in, he had a lot to do. Like bring the right players in, get rid of the deadwood. And to his credit, he has made some good signings, like I said, but he hasn't got all the players that he wanted, and he's got rid of some of the deadwood. Because Solskjaer, was inheriting a lot of deadwood when he first came in, and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. So Solskjaer's done well to say he's not a manager at the top level, and I've certainly got to say he's bringing the old Man United back, and we are getting glimpses of the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We have come from behind in a lot of games this season. Man United are not known as a sacking club, despite the fact we've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was Moyes, Van Gaal and Mourinho. So Ollie's our 4th permanent manager since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. But if you put the stats into circulation now, you can say he's the best manager since Ferguson. Certainly a much better manager than David Moyes was. We've got players on big contracts at the club. Not only that, we've spent over £1 billion on players since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And we've brought around, 36, 37 players in since Ferguson left. And I think we have made mistakes since Ferguson left. And that's one of the main explanations why we were so inconsistent for so long up until this point now. So there you go. But it's going to be interesting to see how we approach the game today. It's going to be also interesting to see how Liverpool approach the game today. I think Klopp has said that he's going to be going with a strong lineup. I give you my expected lineup for this game yesterday night, didn't I? Obviously, Bruno Fernandes has got Liverpool fans talking because Bruno Fernandes defends Liverpool ahead of this FA Cup clash. He says Liverpool haven't been playing poorly despite their winless run, and Bruno Fernandes expressed his support for Sadio Mane, Firmino and Mohamed Salah. Bruno Fernandes is certainly going to play today. He does need a rest because I think we've overplayed him, but Solskjaer did say prior to the game against Fulham that, he doesn't need a rest, and actually Solskjaer defended him. But yeah, whoever wins today's game will play West Ham in the 5th round. We are the second most successful team in FA Cup history because... What? Alright. Because we've won 12 FA Cups, and You know, Liverpool have won it quite a few times, but they haven't won it since 2006. You know, Liverpool are in a bad vein of form because they're winless in their last 5 league games. There has been 17 previous FA Cup meetings between Liverpool and Man United. The most recent was back in 2012. Liverpool beat us 2-1. It was a goal from Kai. And this is the second meeting in a week because we obviously played Liverpool last weekend at Anfield. It was 0-0. Don't forget, Jurgen Klopp criticised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics in that one. And he obviously doesn't like the way that Solskjaer set up, but obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer responded to Jurgen Klopp's comments and says Man United were attacking too. This is, you know, what he had said. But like I say, really, really looking forward to the game. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.